Okay, for question 9, right, from 9 to 12, it is the same question type. And this usually features as a difficult 4-mark or 5-mark word problem in your exam. Okay, so for question 9, just take note for question 9 to 12, the format is the same. You realize that the method to solve there is the same, and it's a very common, difficult exam question that is set. Okay, which is why this is important for you to know how to solve such questions. Okay, so we're going to solve question 9. Right, so you have 200 more apples than pears at the fruit store. So you got apples, pears, right? So to maintain the ratio, right, you let your pears be 1 unit, right? And that means your apples must be 1 unit plus 200. Right, so this allows you to keep the rule of the first sentence, right? That you have 200 more apples. Okay, so the problem with this, right, is that you look at what is next, right? You take away 1/4 of the apples and 2/7 of the pears. If you do that, it becomes very messy, right? Because you start to deal with a lot of fractions, which I can, right, by myself. But of course, to make it easier for you to understand, it is not a good idea to just apply the fraction directly. Okay. So what I do next, right, is to find your 4 and 7, and then take your LCM. So what's the lowest common multiple of 4 and 7 that I can use, that I will use? Anyone? Yes, 28. Okay. So what this means, right, is that I'm going to change it to 28 units for pears, and the apples will be 28 units plus 200. Okay, so again, you see now I make it easier to work with later on, but I still maintain the rule that was in the first sentence, where there are 200 more apples than pears. Okay, so I can go on to do my change. Right, so the change will be 1/4 of the apples were taken out. So you minus 1/4. So when I remove 1/4 of the apples, right, I must apply the minus 1/4 to both 28 units and 200. Right, so 1/4 of 28 units means you have a loss of 7 units. So, right, and 1/4 of 200 means you have 50 apples. So this is the most important part. When you apply 1/4 loss, right, you must do it to both terms in the apples. Right, and then for the pears, you minus 2/7, right, which is where you minus 8 units. Okay, so now you got all the before, you got all the change, you can easily put your after. So your after must be 21 units plus 150, and your pears left must be 20 units. Okay, so from here, you then know that there are 170 more apples than pears left. So your apples left must be equals to pears left plus 170. Okay, so your apples left has to come from here, your pears left has to come from 20 units. Right, so 21 units plus 150 must be equals to 20 units. Okay, so from here you can solve for what is 1 unit, right? So once you solve for 1 unit, A and B, you can solve anything the question asks you. So the beauty of this method, right, is that once you are able to solve for what is 1 unit, anything else that the question asks you after that, right, you can answer, right? Whether it's how many apples left at first, how many apples are there in the end, how many pears are there, so, right, you can answer anything that the question asks. Right, so I'll show it to you, right? In A and B that comes next will only be solved in 1 step each, once you solve for 1 unit. Right, so apples at first, so your apples at first, right, must be just 28 units plus 200. And you get your final answer. And then for B, you find your pears in the end. Pears in the end is just 20 units. And then you get your final answer. So you see, that is the power of this before change after table. Once you are able to solve for 1 unit, anything the question asks you after that, you can solve easily. Okay, so that will be the method for question 9.